Thank you very much for this opportunity to do my presentation at the 19th International Conference on Sustainable Development being held at Sorbonne University, Paris, France. So my name is Edwick Murungu. I'm the program lead of the Faculty of International Business and Trade at the African Leadership University. The topic that I have the pleasure to present to you today is generative AI and trade in Africa, opportunities and challenges. So this is going to be how I'm going to proceed, the outline. I'll start with the background. I'll move to the problem statement, aim and objectives, then move on to the definition of generative AI, which is very key. Then there's theoretical frameworks that support the adoption of AI in trade. Then we'll look at the opportunities and challenges and policy implications and recommendations, which are also key. Then I'll conclude, and if there are any questions and comments, I'll then address them. So just a bit of a background, on this is generative artificial intelligence is poised to revolutionize Africa's trade sector by offering extraordinary opportunities to transform processes, to spark innovation, and to tackle enduring challenges. Its immense role in shaping the global economic and trade landscape is versatile, with impacts spanning job creation, is risk management, supply chain optimization, forecasting, customer insights, and automation. It holds the potential to increase and democratize access to global markets for businesses of all sizes, small and medium-sized enterprises, popularly known as SMEs, which traditionally encounter significant challenges and risk in entering and accessing international markets. They stand to benefit considerably from this technology. It will emerge as an important driver of economic stability and growth, necessitating further investigation, even if I've tried investigating on this, into this long-term implication of international business practices and market dynamics. It's important to note the research by McKinsey, which indicates that generative AI has precipitated a shift in knowledge worker jobs, including the requisite skills and output produced. The report projects that through 2050, AI will augment global productivity by 0.6% annually. These are quite exciting statistics. Now, the question now is, what is the problem here, and what do we aim to achieve by this research, and what is the objective? So the problem is twofold. First, how can generative AI be harnessed to drive trade advancement in Africa? That's the first one, while addressing the inherent technological and resource-related challenges that we are all aware of. Then the second one is what strategies can be implemented to ensure ethical AI deployment, safeguarding against potential biases and data private issues, which are quite key. This research aims to address these questions by analyzing the specific opportunities that generative AI presents for enhancing trade in Africa, identifying the systematic challenges that hinder its adoption, and proposing actionable strategies to overcome these barriers. The objective then is to facilitate an inclusive, sustainable integration of generative AI into African trade systems, fostering equitable economic growth and development. What is generative AI that we're talking about, just so that we're all on the same page? So generative artificial intelligence is an umbrella term encompassing various machine learning models, produces output based on diverse sets. These tools primarily utilized for streamlining workflows have found applications among scientists, engineers, researchers, creatives, and business professionals. Generative AI models can transform inputs written instructions, such as written instructions, into various outputs, including videos, text, images, audios, and code. Simply put, generative AI is a smart computer system that can understand and create text, audio, and more, think and solve problems like humans, do many different complex tasks. So this is really supported by my literature review, that what is generative AI and its impact on trade. So it was key that we all understand what it is. There's another theoretical framework that then that supports adoption and innovation into the trade sector. So some of the key frameworks for understanding for adoption in the African trade are technology acceptance model, focuses on perceived ease of use and usefulness. AI adoption is likely if it adds value, user-friendly, benefits businesses and customers. And it's important to remember the research done by McKinsey on how it's supposed to benefit the trade sector. Then there's the diffusion of innovations. Key elements of this is complexity, comparability, relative advantage, express the spread of AI across African trade sectors. Then there's the resource-based view, AI as a strategic resource for competitive advantage, embraces African businesses competitive globally. Institutional theory, emphasizing external pressures, policies, regulations, and societal norms, highlights importance of institutional support and policy frameworks. These frameworks provide multiple perspectives for analyzing AI adoption in African trade, offering a comprehensive understanding crucial for developing effective strategies and systems. This is quite key for its adoption. They should be, just to summarize, effective strategies, systems, and processes. It's good to just look at the impact, and the key to note is impact on SMEs. It will help in enhancing access to global markets. It will give data-driven insights, informed decision-making, and cost-efficient tools that can be made available to SME as AI. We'll look more into this in our next slides. Then the opportunities really on the impact on the economy is basically job creation, bringing innovation into the trade sector, and supply chain optimization and customer insights. But there are other challenges that will also add on some of these challenges that we should be aware of. That is the inadequate connectivity that can hinder the implementation, then limited data processing, insufficient infrastructure to support the implementation of these regulatory frameworks, and data security concerns that are really key to think about. So now we're going to look at more how can this be integrated and how are it being integrated in some of the case studies that is actually some of them that are being done here in Africa. So it's key to understand that this is really something that is possible and has had positive impact on the sector. So the first one is supply chain management, logistics, and inventory control. This will enhance efficient inventory management, proper scheduling, flawless coordination throughout the supply chain value, improve flow of goods and services across the continent. Market growth predicted 2022 AI supply chain and logistics was valued at above 3 million. But in 2013, we see that it's projected that it will increase to about 6 million, which is compound annual growth rate of nearly 50%. So by harnessing the power of generative AI, business can make more informed decisions regarding production plans, warehousing, material procurement, and logistics, among other related supply chain logistic plans. An example is the United States cold storage, which has automated its scheduling system to predict and estimate the arrival time of couriers and the time needed for services. More details are available in the paper. So there's also AI-driven predictive analytics. The benefits of AI in demand forecasting is it improves accuracy, efficiency of supply chain operations, processes about 100% of the data in real time, enabled informed decision-making, increased competitiveness in the marketplace. Key statistics really to take again by McKinsey's report reveals that about 75% globally, particularly in developing nations such as Africa, depend on manual demand forecasting methods and supply chain planning. Primarily, they rely on Excel spreadsheets, which are marred with inaccuracies and irregularities. These methods are so tedious and time-consuming, hence it's key to integrate AI. Then we look at customs and regulatory compliance. How is it applicable and how has it been used? It mitigates potential damages and avoids regulatory issues, high predictive capability for future risk planning, reduces cost associated with extensive compliance teams, enables proactive strategies rather than reactive responses. A case in limine is that of South African Revenue Services. It implemented AI solutions to enhance custom processing efficiency, resulting in faster clearance time, reduced bottlenecks in trade processes, and increased trade competitiveness. Really, this is one area that the continent has struggled on. If you have been to some of our African borders, really you'll see how this will improve processes. Then trade financing benefits in the financial service sector has been seen that it enhances fraud detection and risk assessment, automated data analysis for abnormality identification, accurate predictions for informed business decisions, streamlined workflows in trade finance. So a case in study also is that on the uses of AI for rapid lending decisions based on alternative sources. Result for Tyler Digital Lender was increased access to loans for individuals and businesses in the informal sector. So now when you want to ensure trade financing, it's easier because like Tyler Digital Lender, they actually used cell phones and they were able to track. So the democratization of market access, generative AI potential for SMEs and informal traders, provides data-driven insights, enables better decision-making, effective digital tools for market access. Case studies, the Twiga Foods, Kenya, AI-powered platform connecting farmers directly to the markets, reduced waste, increased farmers' incomes, and improved supply chain efficiency. This is quite exciting to note. So we look at the e-commerce market access. This is another interesting case study of the Jumia that is all well known in Africa. What it has done is it helps in e-commerce in enhancing competitiveness of the African e-commerce firms in the global market. Technologies such as chatbots, recommendation engines have been particularly beneficial for African SMEs, enabling them to provide better customer experience and implement targeted marketing strategies. Like the case of Jumia, a leading e-commerce platform in Africa, exemplifies this trend, leveraging AI to enhance user experience and optimize logistic operations. E-commerce, as it is also closely related to trade, is key to understand how this AI has the potential to revolutionize everything that we do in trade. So let's just move on to some of the challenges that we cannot take a blind eye to the challenges that we're all quite aware that are very rampant in the continent. And that's why it's key to be aware of them and see how we can tackle them. to get the benefit of generative AI. So there is limited digital infrastructure, inadequate high-speed internet, poor quality real-time. This is supported also by research, high cost of AI technologies, lack of investment in these areas, and financial constraints that are marked because of in the region, because especially in the sector. There is also weak regulatory frameworks, inadequate data privacy laws. There is need to really enhance that. The lack of ethical guidelines. If we talk about inadequate data private laws, we're talking about cybersecurity laws and lack of ethical guidelines. We're also thinking of how can this AI be ethically implemented. So it's key that we, as a continent, we start really working on regulatory guidelines for ethical implementation of AI, especially in the trade sector. Limited access to quality education, especially digital education, shortage of specialized skills, and resource constraints that can hamper the fast integration of AI. And it's key that the government then can have a concerted effort to resolve some of these issues. That then takes me to the how do we chart the course, policy implications, and recommendations. So to harness the full potential of AI in the African trade, strategic policy interventions are crucial, as I had mentioned. Education and workforce development. I know in the previous times, there was a time when we were thinking about AI is something that is coming to disturb and all that, as much as technology comes with all its scares and thinking quite a number of things, but it's key that we enhance education and workforce development, integrate AI literacy in all educational levels. Also, me being in the educational sector, and the first we were worried about students just copying, but now we're also putting systems and policies to support integration of AI into our education system. So this is the same. So intellectual property protection and research and development initiatives, update IP laws for intellectual property laws for AI innovation. So it's key to then how do we protect ourselves? Then public and private collaborations. It's key that there is collaboration between the public and the private sector. Foster partnership to drive AI adoption because we see the impact that it will have, positive impact on the continent. Economic incentives for artificial intelligence adoption is key. Implement sector-specific AI adoption roadmaps. These are also key. So recommendation then comes to there is need to establish government-backed funds for AI startups and research and development, and also me being part of the university. How do we also enhance that within the education system? Then create regulatory sandbox to test AI applications in controlled environment in the trade sector. Develop AI ethics guidelines that consider African cultural context. This is key. African cultural context. If we're going to adopt AI and address all the infrastructural challenges that come with adoption of AI, as I had indicated some of the challenges. So in conclusion, as we stand at the technological crossroads, the potential for generative AI to transform African trade is both exciting and challenging. As we have seen some of the challenges, the technological challenges that we have already talked about, the gaps that are there. So, but it's true that AI offers unprecedented opportunities for growth and innovation in the African trade, as I've indicated in quite a number of case studies. So that even instead of thinking that it's coming, it's already here. Addressing challenges requires a concerted effort from diverse stakeholders. Strategic policies and collaborations are crucial for responsible AI adoption. AI can be a catalyst for economic growth and enhance global competitiveness. The journey towards AI adoption, AI-powered trade landscape in Africa is just beginning, with much to explore and much to discover. So this is my conclusion as I conclude that there is need to address some of the challenges, but the opportunities are many if they can be explored. So thank you very much for following me on this presentation. If there are any questions or any comments, please feel free to email me or connect with me. Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you.